from maybe a quarter of the way through the book. And the reason I did that is it's a compelling section, and the very front of the book is setting up a world where basically a nanobot-driven computer interface pretty well everybody has had injected into their brain. And this allows them to play full VR, virtual reality 5 video games. It also allows them to do all the functions that you would do with your phone or tablet as they're just walking down the street. So, and the Little Sister program, well, I'll just start it, and if I find out I think you need a little background, I'll give it to you. This is going to be so good. Rachel bounded out of the auto car. She was dressed in a short skirt and blouse. Lars followed her, wearing a loose jersey and jeans. Saffron, Tyrell, and Amanda climbed from the back seat. Each wore track pants and a t-shirt. I still say you should have worn old clothes, remarked Tyrell. Ty, leave her be. She'll learn. There was tolerant amusement in Amanda's voice. I hope Cal can make it. His dad works him like a slave. Let's log in. We'll pick characters. He can take over one of the NPC versions of the PCs when he gets here. Good plan, Rach. I hope you don't mind. I invited my brother to log in from a remote. He's been feeling a little down. I thought it might cheer him up, said Amanda as they crossed the pavement to the glass front of Fantasies and Dreams. The more the better. It's always more fun with people instead of NPCs. Rachel pulled open the shop's door and they filed in. Don sat behind the counter. He opened his eyes at the sound of the old-style entry bell on the door. Hi, guys. Just working on the taxes. Room 3 is all set up for you. Don gestured to the stairs heading down. Thanks, said Tyrell. He looked at Amanda. I didn't know you had a brother. Amanda shrugged. I do. He's a great guy. I think you'll like him if he bothers to log in. He's not much on with games. Oh. The party descended the stairs and followed a short hallway to a door labeled 3. They entered a room full of gaming cots and everyone lay on one. Okay, Rach, it's your party. You do the honors, said Tyrell. Is everyone ready to play? Rachel spoke what had become the traditional words to start a campaign. Starting at one end of the room and moving across, each player announced. Amanda, ready to play. Tyrell, ready to play. Rachel, ready to play. Lars, let's do this. Saffron, ready to play. The interface canopies closed over each player's head in turn. Amanda let the nanobots in her brain override her sensory inputs. A mote of flame opened before her. Across it stood a stone wall pierced by a closed drawbridge. Winged demons flew above and fanged serpents occupied the moat. Oblivious to the fire, she was standing on a narrow road of white stones flanked on either side by dense thorny woods, where creatures screeched and roared. A deep voice boomed from all sides. In the never-ending battle between good and evil, there are tides of victory and loss. In a titanic struggle, the forces of good closed the Devil's Gate, staunching the flow of evil into the world of man at great cost. Exhausted, the remaining avatars of light took one last action to secure their victory, before their wounds forced them to retreat to a higher realm. The mightiest of them came to mortal women, leaving them with child. One warrior of light merged with the dying mortal, invigorating them in exchange for a place to reside in the world of man, so that they could serve as guardian and teacher to the young. Years later, these children are called upon to keep the Devil's Gate closed, lest the forces of evil once more rampage across the hearts and souls of humanity. Hey, my grandfather has an old video show like this in his personal file. It came out when he was a kid, remarked Saffron. Everybody rips off everybody. It's all in the execution and the points of difference, remarked Amanda. That's why I prefer sports scenarios. They're realistic, commented Lars' voice. You can throw a 160-kilometer-an-hour fastball? Realistic? Come on, snipped Saffron. Choose your avatar, commanded the game's voice. A series of images and statistics appeared on the underside of the drawbridge. Amanda scanned the selection of 10 characters, each with a unique set of abilities. Each character could be played in male or female mode and gave the option of inputting your own appearance parameters. You pick first, Rach, then we'll let the randomizer select the order. Yes! Oh yes, super strong, super fast, enhanced night vision and agility? I'll take this one, said Rachel. A busty blonde teenage girl appeared on the road. I could input your own appearance for you, offered Amanda. That's okay. Rachel's avatar moved closer to Amanda. Ours will enjoy this one. I wish it was bigger for real. Amanda shook her head. He should like you as you are. No guy is worth changing for. And you have a killer body in the real world. Saffron appeared on the white road next. Her avatar appeared as herself. Moments later, Tyrell appeared. He again resembled himself, except he was a few years older and a scar cut across the line of his jaw. Cute, muttered Amanda. Pardon? Asked Tyrell. Sorry, you age well. Tyrell smiled. It's your turn. Amanda looked at the remaining selections and smiled when she saw that her first choice remained. Nature Child, female, avatar appearance, personal file 1. She sent the message to the computer. A moment later, she stood on the road in a green dress belted at the waist. A wreath of wildflowers was braided into her hair. Nice dress, commented Tyrell. Thanks. Amanda preened a little. Good. I can't believe none of you took this one. A hulking male youth with perfect everything from teeth to hair, dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, appeared on the road. Lars! Rachel's avatar threw herself into her boyfriend's arms. Hey, remember, PG-14, and that's my sister, remarked Tyrell. You are prepared to enter the world of the Devil's Gate, boomed the voice of the game. The drawbridge dropped. Let's go. Rachel rushed forward as eerie music played. Jim settled on the interface cot in his room and slipped into the Fantasies and Dreams mainframe. Entering the Devil's Gate game sub-scenario that Amanda was playing, he activated the viruses he created, gutting the game's exit codes. He then activated a second virus triggered by any attempt by a player to leave the game, a virus that would force them to stay in the game despite the exit failsafes. A special code that would free his beloved from a world of pain and death, so they could play forever. I will save her. She will love me again. All I need to do is keep her away from her mother's, so that she can see I'm right. He muttered as he enhanced the codes he'd added, using every trick he knew to secure them from tampering and creating layers of redundancy. Jim considered a dense section of coding. It glowed dully amongst the lines of symbols. He knew that the moment he tried to tamper with it, the government would know. He mentally shrugged. I'll transfer us to a game in adult mode once she realizes that I'm right. Besides, what can a reading code do? With a thought, he activated a player character version of the scenario's chief antagonist that he created. Jim found himself standing in the middle of a 20th century apartment's living room. A large mirror occupied the wall over the couch on the east wall. The curtains on the south wall were drawn. To the west, a partition wall blocked the view of the kitchen. A small dining room opened up to the living room at one end of the wall, while the kitchen opened to a hallway on the other end. He stared at his avatar in the mirror. Remaking the non-player character into an avatar had been a simple matter of crafting code from a player character onto the general platform of the NPC. Unfortunately, the action had set and limited the abilities within the game to those the scenario provided the NPC. The appearance of the avatar was a woman in her inner 20s with a muscular build and light brown hair. Not my type, but hot for the muscle band type. Jim picked up a trophy from the coffee table. The inscription on it read, Tartarus Falls Regional Female Bodybuilders Championship, second prize. Mistress is hot. Mistress is good. People should be good to Mistress, chimed a voice from the hallway. A Jack Russell Terrier wearing a pink sweater walked into the room, its nails clicking on the floor. What the? Said Jim. The dog stared at Jim's avatar with anticipation. Sidekick? Commented Jim. I am Mistress's constant companion. I will do anything for Mistress. Jim scanned the code. The dog's code was meshed with the original NPC version of his character. Oh well, it's only until Amanda and I transfer to a better game than this dinosaur. He scanned the code to see if he could rid himself of the dog. Who uses Game Master 1 coding anymore? Shrugging, he collected the items that the NPC antagonist had obtained in previous episodes of the game. Something personal representing each of the avatars, and a wand card with animals along its length. Stone balls, one black and the other white, were attached to the wand's ends. A brass keychain fob labeled Tyrell. Tyrell seemed to almost stick to his fingers when the avatar picked it up. Jim checked the coding for the scenario's history. Of course, the scenario had the antagonist as the woman scorned out to punish Tyrell and his friends because he stopped dating her. Say what you will, Fiona can tell the story. Things always happen for a reason. Jim dropped the key fob into an ornate wooden box with several other objects that pointed the wand at them and pronounced cats. This wand would be cool in a fantasy scenario. He brought up the coding for the wand of Circe as he placed it in the wooden box into drawers in the end tables. It would be cool, the dog responded to the words from the main program that hit its parameters. Maybe I'll take the wand of Circe with me when we leave. Nah, its code wouldn't work with any modern game. These old things are rating substitution defecation. Jim sighed. It's only until I save her. When she realizes you can play forever, she'll know I'm right. Mistress is right. Mistress is always right. Jim stared at the dog. You might not be so bad after all. He prepared for his new role in the upcoming scenario and his new life, skipping from game to game. Loud music played as colored lights flashed on the dance floor. A neon sign over the bar that occupied one end of the room read "Spirits." NPCs danced and the pattern of their movements mechanical and repetitious. Booths lined the walls with an inner row of round tables ringing the dance floor. Amanda looked closer. There were maybe 50 NPCs in the bar, but only 10 looks varied using different hair colors and dress styles. Hi guys, your regular booth is open, stated a tall, slender youth with tossing brown hair carrying a tray of drinks. Great, lead the way, said Rachel. We need to talk on my next break. I have a feeling that something is coming, remarked the waiter in a half whisper as he brought them to a booth away from the music speakers. Tell us now, said Rachel. I have to serve tables. I need this job. He walked away. Wait a minute, demanded Lars. It's an NPC version of the player character. You know the one that was on the selection screen that is limited for cognitive abilities? It won't tell us anything until its break, and then no more than it's programmed to. Amanda took a seat in the booth. Tyrell slid in beside her. I hope its break is soon. I want to start playing. I have really neat abilities in this one. Rachel picked up the cast iron candle holder and crushed it in her palm. There will be some introductory things to get us all accustomed to our powers. There always are when you use a mid-storyline access, remarked Amanda. I wish they'd waive the mandatory for experienced gamers. They're always lame, added Saffron. Okay, guys. The waiter walked up to the booth. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling. Amanda felt Tyrell inch closer to her as the waiter spoke. It felt natural. Why not? She thought as she shifted a little closer to them. There was a blast of pain and the world seemed odd. She looked out from under the table. Her color vision was partially gone. The smell of spilt drinks and unwashed bodies was stupefying. At the same time, if she concentrated, she could sift each scent and categorize it to a degree she never would have believed possible. The sounds of the bar were nearly deafening. An American blue cat stood in front of the table on a pile of clothes. Amanda glanced around. A big gray tabby shrugged out of Tyrell's shirt on the seat beside her. Amanda lifted her hand and saw an orange cat's paw. This is so cool, remarked the calico from across the table in Rachel's voice. The calico sludged off the blouse Rachel's avatar had been wearing. I'm a cat. I was supposed to have special forces type skills. Now I'm a cat, and I'm seeing double, griped the Siamese beside Rachel with Lars's voice, as he tried to struggle out of his t-shirt, getting more entangled by the moment. This is neat, added the sleek, midnight black cat in Saffron's voice. I can see so much. Hey, you lot, get the heck out of here! A burly human ran towards the booth with a broom. Lars extracted himself from his shirt. They all bolted, scattering across the dance floor, creating havoc amongst the NPCs. This way! The American Blues stood by a swinging door to the kitchen behind the bar. Amanda bolted towards the spring-loaded door, trying not to laugh. Snarrow was off to a good start. Reaching the kitchen, she kept running, passing between the chef's feet, causing him to stumble around with a pie in his hand that ended up in the sous chef's face. The gray tabby ran up beside her. Nicely done. There was laughter in his voice. We can't let Rachel have all the fun. They turned a corner and were joined by the other cats. There was a hole in the wall in front of them. They ran towards it. The Siamese pulled ahead, calling, "Come on! Lars, look!" began Rachel. Lars slammed headfirst into the wall, then stepped back, reeling. Out, finished Rachel, as she bolted through the hole. The other cats raced through one after the other, with Lars bringing up the rear. They entered a cluttered storage room. Cardboard liquor and snack boxes covered most of the floor. Saffron rolled on the floor, making a kind of squeaking noise. That was so funny. Lars, the wall. Rachel stuck her tail in the air and strutted to her boyfriend. Are you okay? Sure. Okay, we're cats. So now what? At that moment, the Siamese stomachs gurgled. Is anyone else hungry? Asked Amanda. The acclamation scenario, remarked Tyrell. Why don't I hack around it so we can get on with the quest? Don't you dare. This is my birthday and I'm my first PC-14 scenario. I want to do it all, said Rachel. She's right, Ty. It's all hacked to us. For her and Safi, this level of play is new. Fine. Well, I guess we go hunting then. Hunting? Asked Saffron, her ears perking. How else do cats deal with hunting? Dawn closed out the tax program and sent in the file. Bloodsuckers. Now to get some real work done. Accessing the security program, he started a system scan. The doorbell's tinkle caused him to open his eyes. Hello, Mr. Folk, said Cal as he stepped into the office. Hi, are you here to join the game? Dawn tried to place the youth, but there were too many clients to keep track of them all. I'm supposed to join Rachel Thorson's campaign? They're in room 3. Closing his eyes, he checked a feed. Just going through the acclimation stage. Good, I haven't missed much. What should I do? Should I know? You've all been turned into cats. Cats? Carl looked skeptical. You'll work it out. Come on, I'll get you stowed away. At that moment, the mainframe beeped. Dawn's vision flashed red. Oh, crap. Amanda prowled along the alley, listening. Something rustled in the garbage by a building's wall, and she pounced. No, no hurt. Baby's home, care for. Amanda jumped off the mouse and ran away. Why'd you do that? Demanded Lars. You didn't hear it talk? Asked Amanda. Mice talk? The Siamese stared at Amanda. You're losing it. I am not. The mouse talked. Must be part of the game. And Amanda stuck her tail in the air and strutted back along the alley. Great butt. Looks better when she's human, said Lars's voice. Lars? You're with Rachel. And you're too young for me. I didn't say anything. Lars stared at her cross-eyed. Oh, correct. The game editor took control. Rating substitution. Defecation. Telepathic ability. My character has telepathic ability. Great. You learned about one of your powers. Can we kill something? I want to eat. You can. I have an aversion to killing animals that talk to me. I'll head back to the storage room. Oh no, you're not leaving me in this freak show of a game alone. I'm coming with you, commented Lars. Rachel stalked across the suburban front yard, keeping low to the ground. The pigeon was so close she could almost taste it. She leapt, sailing over the bird, crashing into a picket fence before falling into a puddle. The bird considered her as if laughing. Saffron darted out of the shadows, catching the bird unawares, crushing its neck in her jaws. "Ooh, and ick," said Rachel as she stepped from the puddle and shook off some of the water. "This is such a cool game. I could really get into this cat thing," said Saffron. "I thought I had that lined up. What happened?" Rachel began grooming herself with her tongue. "Probably your enhanced speed and strength. You'll get used to it. Let's go back to the storeroom. I think the party should pause the game and take a bathroom break." "Good idea. Let's eat first so we don't feel like the need to pig out when we get back to reality." "Good idea." Tyrell watched the squirrels forage across a yard into the shade of a crabapple tree from the cover of a bush. The squirrels scampered closer. With an explosion of speed, Tyrell leapt, his cat body flying through the air, his paw slammed down on the squirrel's back. His claws dug into flesh. He closed his jaws on the rodent's throat and bit down, tasting hot blood as it flooded his mouth. He swallowed and released the squirrel in time to see a ghostly image of it float into the air and scamper joyfully into a bright light. Spirit vision, one of the Avatar's powers. At least the hunting's fun. Taking the squirrel in his mouth, he headed back towards the storage room. "There's something wrong with the Devil's Gate game." Don closed his eyes and scanned the code. "What is it?" asked Cal. "I don't know. The exit code is corrupted. It looks like a virus, but all my protections are in place. Link in and have a look." Cal closed his eyes and saw streams of computer code. "Sorry, I don't recognize any of this." It's as if somebody deliberately closed off the exits, removed the codes completely. And this here, an exterior data stream, is secured as all hell. I'll have to pull the physical connection to the network to bring that. "Are they stuck in there?" asked Cal. "They could always break the connection with the internal cutoffs, but the jolt's unpleasant. I'll call tech support. Could you do me a favor?" "What?" Cal glanced nervously about. "If they try to break the connection using failsafe, it's going to give them all roaring headaches, and it will mince my version of Devil's Gate. You're playing the scenario anyways. If you could go in and tell them not to come out for bathroom and food breaks until I tell them to, it would save them a headache and me a pack of money. Tell them I'll have dry clothes waiting for them when they do come out. I'll replace anything that gets ruined. It shouldn't take more than a couple of hours for tech support to sort it out. It would be doing me a real favor." "Okay. Rach shouldn't be sick on her birthday. Do you think I'll be out before I need to go?" "I'm sure of it. Just in case, put this on." Don pulled an adult waste disposal diaper out of a box under the counter. "Why do you have these here?" Carol took the diaper. "I get some real hardcore gamers in this place. I got sick of cleaning up the mess. The microbots will clean away any waste products," supplied Cal. "Exactly. Put it on. If fixing this takes longer than I expect, there will be one less piece of clothing we'll have to replace. They're in room 3. I'm putting in the call to tech support now.